the world come to, Chiefs Kingdom? We're going to talk about it right now. Let's get talking about it right now, guys. Come on, show me. There it is. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Chiefs Kingdom. What's going on? It's Monday Night Football time. Giants are getting kind of hosed by the Patriots. Their quarterback just got decleated on the sideline. He's on his way out of bounds. Not only did they not protect him from a hit going out of bounds, but arguably still an inch within bounds, let's say, maybe. I didn't see where his feet were because he never showed that. They wanted to let Troy Aikman wax poetic about how it was legal now. But the guy left his feet. He launched himself, which is against the rules, to just totally obliterate Jackson Dart. So I guess if you're the Patriots, you can do whatever you like. And the Giants, here's the thing, Patriot fans, you can beat them by 100. You can beat them by 150 tonight. You're not getting those 2 Super Bowls back. They're still L's. They're L's in your trophy case. Little spots where you thought there was going to be a trophy. Hello, dog. My dog wants to be on the show. Lucy, go sit down. Go. Sit down. Be a good girl. Sit. But, moving on to Chiefs talk. Can we talk about Chris Jones? I'm your host, Thunder Dan. This is Chiefs Chat. We're going to wait till Wednesday to talk about Chiefs Cowboys. I want to let that all sink in. I just started watching the game again today. Got distracted. Got to go back and watch the whole thing. Yeah. Rough game. Tough to watch it live. See a game going a certain way, and no sooner did the commentator, I said I'm not going to talk about it until Wednesday, and I'm not, but I just want to say this one thing, and that is, no sooner did the on-air referee talk about, in games like this, you want to just let veteran quarterbacks play football, let them sling it, let the players play, let them decide the game on the field, then the one-sided flag train came to town and just steamrolled right over the Kansas City Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes did everything superhumanly possible in his bag of tricks to keep us in this game. But I want to talk about the defense. And yes, I do believe they did wrongfully get flagged on a few plays. I've never seen it before where a DB gets thrown on the ground by a wide receiver and he gets flagged for DPI for the nerve of being in the presence of a wide receiver. But the wide receiver can throw him on the ground. The wide receiver can push off on every play. George Pickens, I'm looking at you. You wouldn't have been great in the old days. You would have got clubbed a lot. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a new game. Certain guys are allowed to do certain things that other guys aren't allowed to do. My light looks really funky on this. I'm not crazy about that. I'm going to try to change it up. See if that lightens it up a little bit. That's more of like it's more like a incandescent light. Yeah, it's not like a warm light at all. That doesn't look better. That definitely doesn't look better. Let me brighten this one up and see if that does the trick. Anyway, it's too yellow on my screen on my phone. I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think. Viewers in the chat that are lurking, if you want to say hi, feel free to say hi. We're going to talk a bit about Stone Cold Chris Jones today. My concern is that train has also left the station. That the mayor of Sac Nation, who was just reelected in 2024, doesn't need to be impeached right now, but at the end of the season, we may have to call on the 25th Amendment for the defensive tackle who is no longer fit for duty. Not at the rate he's getting paid. I like the person. I think he's great people. But he's looking like the defensive tackle version of what Clyde Edwards-Helaire is to the running back spot. Which is you can't pay that guy that kind of money. That's why we originally let Clyde go. Brought him back, practice squad, got him much cheaper. The guys still like him. Still tries hard. He's a try-hard guy. We need more than a try-hard guy at D-tackle for the money he's getting. Just so you know, we're still in Chiefs world. We still got the Chiefs daddy mug happening. A little bit of coffee. Tonight's show is sponsored by Coors Light. Sorry, Coors Beer. Coors Banquet Beer. It's not sponsored by it. I just like it. I was trying it. I like the little stubbies. This isn't cable. You can drink on the internet. Anyway, getting back to the show. It's my first sip of beer. I want to go over to the review screen and look at a few things. It's a little getting concerning. And we're going to talk about penalties on Wednesday. And I'll touch off the show tonight by talking about it because the narrative that's been going around for the last, let's say 3 years at least, that we get all the calls is so erroneous. So false. I got to make sure my audio is coming through on my phone. It is. Okay, great. So false that it's unbelievable. So let's get over to the review screen and check that out. I'll set it up for you. Of course, my screen can't be up because that would be too convenient. I just was inspired randomly to just throw this up there because of things that are happening right now. I can't get down with it, yo. First of all, are we here yet? We're not here yet. Let's knock this off right now. We're now voting for Pro Bowlers. We're voting for Pro Bowl spots for Patrick Mahomes. Is that where we are? We're worried about if he gets in the Pro Bowl. I don't expect him to be available for the Pro Bowl. I don't want him to be. I don't think he wants to be. In fact, I know he doesn't plan on being. So we have 5 games to go. We're going to talk about that. We're going to cut it up. One of the things that brought to you guys' attention last show, right here, if you want to check this out. Then we get into penalties, all the penalty garbage people talk about. Most penalized team in the NFL from 2017 to 2021, we started winning. 578 penalties, first in the league. Worse than the Jags, worse than the Raiders, worse than the Cardinals, worse than the Browns, worse than the Jets. That's right, 578 penalties. Just from 2017 to 2021. Okay, in the midst of the Andy Reid era. Almost 580 penalties. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 next closest teams didn't have over 35 wins. Jags had 25, Raiders had 35, Cardinals had 35, and the Browns had 32. Jets had 22. We had 60. Despite almost 600 penalties, we had 60 wins. So, despite so many penalties, we weren't winning games because we got flags in our favor. On the contrary, the flags are going against us. They're winning games because they're better. They're winning games because they're different. It's got nothing to do with ref assistance or penalties in our favor. Au contraire, mon frere, it's quite the opposite. Then I decided, let me look at the whole expanse of Andy Reid's tenure in Kansas City. And since Andy Reid became the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, when it's most important who the penalties favor in the playoffs, when it matters the most, if you lose, it's over. No one has been penalized more than your Kansas City Chiefs during the entirety of Andy Reid's tenure. So the next time someone impugns that we're favored by the refs, tell them to stick that in their pipe and smoke it. Because they're being disingenuous, they're lying, or they're just idiots and they don't want to do their research. They see one flag go in our favor and they lose their freaking minds. I saw half of the internet explode that the Bengals were getting a raw deal when their guy hit our quarterback not once but twice out of bounds on the sideline in the AFC Championship game. Like he doesn't deserve any protection at all. Just go ahead and destroy him. Meanwhile, the reactions of his coach, his team's tight end, and our DB running back running behind the play all told the tale of what was about to happen. They all knew a flag was coming, and it was owed. And it came. And we won. So, here's your stats. Here's your facts. Facts don't care about your opinion, Chief haters. The facts are nobody gets flagged more than we do. No one. Especially in the playoffs. Next closest team is 19 penalties away, and they've played a lot less games. This is your team. Stand up for them. Don't let these haters win. So we had 8 losses over those years. We didn't have 1 or 2. We didn't have the 2, 3. We didn't have 2 Super Bowl losses and 2 FC Championship losses. We had 4 more where we didn't get very far at all. So I'm sick of hearing it. All right? So let's put that to bed. There's the game. One thing I will mention before Wednesday, this stat line right here. I don't want to hear another chucklehead. I just got on the Chiefs bandwagon 5 minutes ago talking about Patrick Mahomes being washed when he was 23 of 34 for 261 yards and 4 touchdowns. 129.7 rating. Ran for 30 yards on top of it. Almost 300 total yards, 4 TDs, and people talking about him being washed. He outplayed the Cowboys quarterback. 2 touchdowns and an interception. So just knock it off with that talk. First of all, let's flip over to the other side of the ball. So getting over to the defensive side, Chris Jones had 2 tackles and 2 assists. Okay, that's 1 game. What I'm getting tired of is hearing about Sack Nation and waiting for Sack Nation to show itself, because we've gotten used to that over the years. It's a deserted island right now. Sack Nation is... The Broncos are leading the league with 51 sacks. En route, they could be getting 60 this year. Chiefs did that once before. 1990, we had 60. They're at 51 right now. Next closest team, the Browns, with 43. 19 of those by 1 guy, Garrett Wilson. A guy who a lot of people want to compare Chris Jones to over the years. Knock it off. No more. Can't do that anymore. They're different department stores. One's Kmart and one's, I don't know, Neiman Marcus. It's not even comparable. Kansas City Chiefs right now, 22 sacks. It says 22, but then when you go look at it, they only show 20. So I don't know where the other 2 are. If they're special teams and they're not listed or something. But a lot of people want to tie a big albatross around the neck of George Karlaftis, saying it was a waste of a first-round pick. So the guy who has 5 sacks and 36 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 passes defense, and a fumble recovery, he's the problem. But the guy with 3 sacks, 20 tackles, 7 for loss, 1 pass defense, even though he's 6'5", almost 6'6", and that's it for his stat line. But what about all the other things he does for his team, right? That's what I hear all the time. All the other things he does. Well, apparently he's not doing much for anybody right now, because everybody else is 2, 2, 1.5, 1, 1, 1, 1. Nobody's doing much, despite the greatness of having Chris in the middle. Can he be a disruptor in the middle? Sure. So can a lot of average defensive tackles who don't rush the quarterback. And it's not just this year. It's not just this year. Last year, 5 sacks. This year, 3 sacks. The needle's going this way, folks. He just got the contract last year, and last year and this year, combined, he has less sacks than the year before that, 23, where he had 10.5. Year before that, he had 15.5. He only had one other year, 4 years previous, when he had 15.5. The rest of the years, single digits. This is not Reggie White. This is not some dominating pass rusher. This is not some guy that's feared by the rest of the league. This is not Garrett Wilson. Okay? Take that back. He is feared to a degree by a lot of the league, sure. But when they're allowed to hold with impunity, I see guys pulling his jersey off of his shoulders constantly. Used to be able to keep your hands inside here in the chest. I don't know when that changed. When did the rules change? Somebody enlighten me. That you could be pulling the jersey off the guy's shoulder pads in full sight of the cameras and the refs, and there's no flag. So if they're not going to change that, or he's not going to double-sided tape his jersey to his pads, or wear a medium, a smaller jersey that can't be stretched like that, he's not going to be as effective. I'm ready for him to go with a halter top, have his guts showing. I don't care. Just get a small shirt on, bro, because they're grabbing you up and you can't get off of it. That's frustrating. It's no fun to see. It's no fun to see the guy decline like this. But it's happening. And it's not happening cheap. This past week, their biggest play, huge run to the middle by their backup running back. Where Chris was supposed to have the inside, try to hero ball it outside. Guy makes a big play. Chris is like, oh, that's me. That's me. In Jacksonville, effort was like, oh no, I'm not. And then Trevor Lawrence falls down again, and it's, oh, I'm still not going to make an effort. And Trevor Lawrence runs in for the game-winning touchdown. Sorry, guys, that's me. Week 1 in Brazil. I said, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. End of the game. Division rival. Part of the reason we're on the outside looking into the playoffs right now. LA Chargers in Brazil, and end of the game, they need a first down. It's 3rd and long. He's supposed to have outside contain. He goes hero ball, tries to come inside, gets knocked off course for like half a step. Herbert runs around the outside. Easy first down. Drew Tranquill loses his mind. Like, bro, we had the inside. He wasn't getting more than 5 or 6 yards. Why did you let him get outside? Sorry, guys. This is tantamount to Tyreek Hill's last season with the Chiefs. Great player in moments, but cost games. That's 3 I can count, just off the top of my head. And there's no 40 tackles. There's no 12, 13, 11 sacks to justify. But the rest of the time, there's no rest of the time. There's doing not very much, or there's doing less, or there's hurting the team. Oh, but pressures. Dude, miss me with that shit. George Karlaftis leads the team in sacks. He leads the team in tackles for loss. He's added 2 passes defense and a fumble recovery. He's got 36 tackles. So he's in the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's number 8. Nick Bolton, of course, leading the team in tackles. Everyone talking about Nick being washed. This is the same as when they were trying to run Dan Sorensen out of town. Was Dan Sorensen the fastest guy? No, but he's a good football player. And he led the team in tackles all the time. And we were losing games. I'm going, it's not because of the guy that's doing what nobody else is doing. I don't care if you make a great one hero ball play. Now it's not even one. What is it? 1 a month. September, October, November. 1 a month. That's what those 3 sacks are worth. How much is it costing us? He signed his contract in 2024. 2024, he made $7.3 million at the age of 30. Then this year he's making $23.5 million, 23.6. That's 8.2% of the cap for the team. Guess what the number is next year? $44.8 million. That's 15% of the cap. And that's guaranteed. Well, the guaranteed part of it is $35 million. If on the roster on the 3rd day of the 2025 league year, which already happened, Jones's 2026 salary and roster bonus, which total $35 million, are fully guaranteed. Next guarantee doesn't trigger until 2027. So even if we wanted to move him at the end of the year, if his stats keep puttering along the way they are right now, we got to find somebody who's willing to pay $35 million in guaranteed salary. Or maybe they split it with us. Maybe we pay 15 and they pay 15 and get him for 15. Because 15 would be a bargain. Even if he's just disruptor in the middle and doesn't let you run up the gut all the time. Although if he does jump outside, you might be able to do that on him, like he did against Cowboys. This is worse than Frank Clark territory. What's going on, Gary Holland? Good to see you in the chat, sir. Pat Mahomes is a good YR, good year. Is that what we're saying? Good to see you, buddy. Will Chris Jones be traded or released next year? I'm assuming if he's cut, he can't be cut. If he's traded after June 1st, it's only 9.75 dead money, and we'd save $35 million. If he's traded before June 1st, that's tricky. We lose 29.25 million. I don't think they're going to be interested in trading him before June 1st. Now, they might tell him, feel free to sit home and relax. Just work out. Don't risk injury because we're going to move you. That might be a conversation that they have. And make it unofficial till June 1st. June 2nd. Which, not trying to be crappy, but damn, dude, that's a lot of money to throw out the window. $30 million on a guy you're getting rid of. He's going to be 32 next year. That's not young for a D-end. He's not getting better. He's regressing for sure. People thought he was regressing in 2018. I went, you're nuts. He's still a great player. You just got to give him some help. Okay? 9 sacks, 7.5 sacks, 9 sacks, then back up to 15.5 in 2022. Here we go. Super Bowl. Super Bowl win. 2023, 10.5 sacks, Super Bowl win. 2024, 5 sacks, not as effective. Couldn't get anything done against the Eagles. We get blown out in the Super Bowl. Currently 3 sacks. 20 tackles. 10 are assisted, 10 are solo. So 10 tackles by himself and 10 assisted. It's not good territory, folks. It's really not. George Karlaftis has almost as many solo tackles as Chris has total tackles. Okay, people are ragging George Karlaftis. They're dragging him over the coals. George Karlaftis has nothing but upside. Okay? George is young. 24 years old. 24 years old. You match him up with somebody that's like Chris Jones a couple years ago, or for that matter, let's look at George's stats from a couple years ago. It makes me sad to talk about this because Chris has been awesome for this team. He's been awesome for this franchise, but people aren't looking at what's going on. They're not being genuine. I don't know if they don't want to look at it. I don't know if they're afraid to look at it. But this is not this is not the droid we're looking for right now. All right? I don't know if I can do it this way or not, but let's go George Karlaftis stats. I'll just pull up a second window. All right. So, in Chris's down years, last year he had 8 sacks. My kitty cat. Shh. He had 8 sacks when Chris had 5. He's got 5 already this year. And they tied for lead 10.5 the year before that. And when Chris had 15.5, he had 6. Just coming into the league. 6 sacks his first season. What did Chris do his first season? 2 sacks. 6.5 his second year. To be fair, he plays a lot inside, so it's tough to get him from the inside, get those sacks. But he's definitely declining. He's not worth $44 million next year. Almost 45. something's got to be done. Whether it's restructuring, whether it's moving them on. Maybe they restructure, give them a little bit up front, and then say, mosey on down the road, we're going to trade you. Hopefully to an NFC team. And hopefully to one that's not the Eagles. Or maybe the Eagles. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I got to see something change because I was feeling for him. I know he had a family loss this year. It was really horrible, like sad. His grandmother was very important to him. But this is business, right? We're always about, oh, this is business. It's not show friends. It's show business, and NFL show business. These guys got to produce. Okay, well, he's not producing. Okay? People have no problem ragging on this quarterback with a stat line like that, who lost to this guy who didn't get sacked once, threw a pick, 2 touchdowns in his own building. But he's the hero because he won. But this guy did everything he could possibly. And oh, by the way, didn't run the ball. We'll talk about it Wednesday. I'm not going to get into it now. It'll drive me nuts. But this number, we got to do something about this number right here. $44.8 million. That can't be allowed to be. That's too much. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. I see people piling in now. Kevin Capel, good to see you, sir. Gary says I'm absolutely right. Hang on one second. Kitty wants to go in the girls' bedroom. My daughter's gone to sleep. Defense does not show any life on the road. Drew Tranquil looked like he was stuck in molasses trying to get a fumbled ball. They were on the ground, to be fair. They were on the ground. And the guy, Turpin, who came in, the guy's a bullet. I thought that the first time I saw it, and then when I saw the replay, I'm like, they had no chance. That dude flew in there so fast to get on that ball. Kudos to him for not knocking the ball flying. But, you know, it is what it is. And Edwards, we should have picked it up. He got rocked when he tried to pick the ball off, so that's a tough situation as well. Absolutely afraid of it? I think so. Good to see you in the chat, of course. Sad times have returned, unfortunately. But, hey, there's still more fun to watch than the Palco casualties. Cut Chris Jones after June 1st, we save a lot of money. We absolutely do. We save a lot of money. I don't want to see it cut now. Post June 1st? No, if we cut them, we don't. If we cut them, we lose $44.75 million. We save $100,000 if we cut them. We lose $64 million if we cut him before that. So that's not happening. He's getting traded before at 29.25 or a loss, or he's getting traded after. And if he gets traded before, then maybe if there's a team that goes, we want to trade from now, we'll split the difference with you. Maybe they pay 15 and we pay 15 and we save 30 that way. Because otherwise, it's very untenable. You can't. This is not moving on from Russell Wilson and restructuring your entire franchise for a year and a half. This is not that kind of team. We need weapons around Patrick Mahomes, and we need more help on defense, obviously. That said, our defense hasn't been terrible. Our defense has played some excellent football. Our defense has kept us in games at moments, and other times, unfortunately, they've looked like the 2013 can't get off the field on 3rd and long defense. Can't get off the field on 3rd and long. Used to be the song of the Kansas City Chiefs faithful. Can't get off the field on 3rd and long. We can't get off the field on 3rd and long. Looks like we are strong as the team goes rolling on, but we can't get off the field on 3rd and long. That's a problem. That's got to change. So we'll see what they're going to do. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Hang on one second. I got the noisiest cat. Hang on. My apologies for that. That cat was just being really noisy. Sorry, Dan. It's just Gary. You're not going to have to be sorry for anything, man. You don't have to be sorry for anything. We share our feelings on this show. We love this team. We've loved this team for a long time. This is not a bunch of bandwagon jumpers on this channel. These are people that have been here for a minute. And this team's got to do better. They know that. They know that. We're not worried about that. What we're worried about is things like this. Stop this nonsense narrative that we get the penalty flag benefit or whatever, because we are the most penalized team in the entirety of Andy Reid's tenure. Remember that one from this show? Remember this game. This could be the game that turns everything. Because now we go home. We're in the cozy confines of Arrowhead for the next 2 games. We got the Texans, who just got C.J. Stroud back and who've been living high on the hog, being able to hear themselves think, who robbed the Colts. That pass interference where their DB breathed, that was as bad as ours against the Cowboys. That guy barely touched his hand. Guy took 2 more steps and fell down on his own, and they asked for a flag and got it for a huge first down. Or the Colts might have won that game with Danny Dimes having a broken fibula. We'll get into that on Wednesday. Then after that, we got the Chargers. Speaking of broken bones, Justin Herbert just broke a bone in his hand. Then we got the Titans, who are abysmal. We end the season with the Raiders, who are abysmal. And before the end of the season, on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, this could be the game that puts us in the playoffs. We get the Broncos at our house. So while we're all sitting here rolling in misery, thinking, it's over, the party's over, oh, what if we don't make the Chiefs are sitting there going, perfect. It's lined up perfect. We can take on the best defense in football in our house. We can get revenge against the Chargers. We can take some practice reps against the Titans and make sure we get that game and don't let that be a trap. Then we get revenge against the Broncos at home. And then we go to Allegiant. We fine-tune everything and play our asses off because we know the way the Patriots are playing right now, they keep that up, they're going to be the number 1 seed. We're playing in the wild card round. But let's get to the playoffs. Let's get 11 wins. If we get 11-6, the Broncos lose 1 game. Well, we need them to lose a bunch of games. But if the Broncos end up somehow being 11-6, that's only 2 more wins. Let's say the Broncos beat the Raiders, obviously, but they almost lost to the Raiders, so that's not out of the realm of possibility. And it's at the Raiders Stadium this time. We'll see how that goes. Then they got the Packers who are still trying to prove stuff. The Jags who are still trying to prove stuff. Us. And the Chargers. So let's say their only 2 wins they have left are only 1 win they have left is the Broncos. Okay? That puts them at 10. They get a second one against the Chargers, 11. If we beat them and we're both 11-6, then it comes down to tiebreakers. We could still win the AFC West. That's our best case scenario. But we need them to lose to us, the Packers, the Jaguars. And that's it. And if they beat our other 2 AFC West rivals, they have 11 wins, we have 11 wins. We'll see how that goes. Is that correct? That can't be correct. I thought there were 10 wins already. Whatever. It's a bunch of stuff we're hoping for. I'm not counting on it. I'm counting on being on the road in the wild card. Bring it on. Bring it on. Because none of those newfangled, look at what we're doing now, AFC teams want to face the Chiefs in the first round. What's your prize? You get a game against the angry Chiefs in the wild card round. And you get to be bounced out of the playoffs. Because none of those teams that are coming up right now on the AFC side have anything on us when it comes to AFC credit, AFC playoff experience. I had one for the standings here. Let me pull that up really quick before I go, guys. We'll talk about that for a second. This way we can just focus on the game on Wednesday when I break it up with Hong Forest. Christmas, baby. Christmas football. Let's go. You guys can have Thanksgiving. We'll take Christmas. AFC playoffs picture right now, the standings. Patriots, are they winning right now? Still? They were 10-0 on the Giants a minute ago after that big return by their DB. Jones or whatever his name is. I don't see the score updated here. Oh, yeah, they're killing them. 27-7. Figures. So the Patriots are running away with that. We're not going to have a tiebreaker on them. And barring any injuries or anything like that, they've got the Bills. They could lose that. They've got the Ravens. They could lose that. They got the Jets. They're probably going to, against their division rivals, who knows? Jets and Dolphins. I don't know. I'm not going to say, but they should win those. But the Jets just won. The Dolphins just won. Like, these are teams that are all over the map. Unfortunately, defense plays terribly on the road. If we punt more than once, we lose. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that's not the case come playoff time, sir. I'm hoping that somehow we round that into shape enough, or the offense clicks a little bit better and we start hitting 35, 38 points a game, and the defense does just enough to stay alive, which has been the case in the past. If you recall, our first Super Bowl year, we didn't look great on defense when we were down 28-0 against the Houston Texans. So I still believe in Pat. I think he's better now than he was then. I think he has a better group as a wide receiving core than he did then. I think Travis Kelce, get me started. Top 10 tight ends, NFL. Stats Muse. Let's look at that right now. 2025. Okay, this thing's stupid sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't understand. Let me see if I can change this and get the results I want. Will that work? Nope. Top NFL top tight ends. See if that works. Come on, give me my stat sheet. Oh my gosh. Tight end receiving stats. 2025. Last chance, StatMuse. Oh, I'm sorry, you just lost me. StatMuse has a whole bunch of pay portals now too. They make it harder to find stuff. It's disappointing. Regardless, suffice it to say that Travis is in like the top 3 at tight ends in the league, and everyone's calling him washed as well, which is just annoying. Just don't listen to the haters, because the haters are going to hate. That's what they do. All right, but what we have is our schedule in our control. That's all we can control. And I like the odds, because our toughest games, Texans, Chargers, especially if Herbert's ready to go, and Broncos are all at home. Our road games are against the Titans and the Raiders. If you guys don't think we can go 5-0, you haven't been watching this team for the last 20 years, especially the last 8. Because this quarterback and this coach are different. This tight end is special. This wide receiving group is really good. Guys got to stop dropping the ball. Because for part of the game, Rashee Rice looks like Dwayne Bowe warmed over, like late Dwayne Bowe. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, that's why he's our number 1 wide receiver. Catches the ball and runs down the sideline away from everyone. That's why he's number 1. That run after the catch. But he did the flipper hands a couple times in the game. Travis Kelce did it once. Travis redeemed himself, had a really good game after that, but just got to do better overhaul. In the long haul of the game, this is going to be a brutal end of the season, because every game matters. Our playoffs start, everybody said last week, our playoffs start this week. Our playoffs start this week, because we can't afford to lose anymore. We need, the Bills and Patriots are going to beat each other up again. The Bills have the Bengals, the Pats, the Browns. Myles Garrett, does he go off that game? The Eagles and the Jets. Again, division rival. Browns defense, who knows? Bengals, Joe Burrow's back. Could be a pride game against Josh Allen and the Eagles. So it's no easy road to the hoe for them either. And they've drifted off a lot in the last little while. They're 8-4. The Pack's all fallen back to us. Everybody's like, oh, there he was running away when we were 5-5. Everybody's running away from us. All of a sudden, 6-6 ain't so bad. You got a lot of 8-4s. That's the problem. 8-4, 8-4, 8-4. So there's 1. If we ended today, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. There's 5. There's 6. There's 7. Now the Colts have these Texans again at home at the end of the season. I'm sorry, at their place, the Texans building. They got the Jags twice. They got the Seahawks, 49ers, and Texans. They might not win again this year. So that could take care of itself. That said, What we want is for the Jaguars to stumble. And it's not looking like they're going to stumble when they get the Titans twice. Once was this week. They get the Colts twice, the Broncos, the Jets, and the Titans again. So they should have 2 wins for sure. And then these 3, which Colts team shows up? It's all about that. Because we want to be a game ahead of the Jags at the end of the year and tied with the Colts. Or let the Jaguars win their division and we're tied with the Colts, and then we beat the Colts in the tiebreaker. Beat the Texans in the tiebreaker. So let that take care of that. If we have the same record as the Ravens, if the Steelers somehow pass them, and the Ravens are tied with us, we got the tiebreaker on them. So then it's only 1-2 teams there. Then it's 3. And then whatever the Bills do down the stretch. Because they got the tiebreaker on us. Right now we got to worry about getting our own division in order. We need 1, 2, 3 wins there, 4 wins there, 5 wins there. That'll put us at 11-6. Chargers need 3 wins to be 11 wins. I think they're going to lose to the Eagles on Monday night. I think they are. I definitely believe we're going to take them down at our house. They should lose to the Cowboys. If the Texans are all that, they're going to lose to the Texans. They could not lose. They could not win another game. They could lose every game. That would put us number 2 in the West if we take care of business. Everything's predicated on we take care of business. Don't get me wrong here. Really like our chances to win up because of our home games. Very concerned about our road play. I would be more concerned about our road play if it wasn't the Titans and the Raiders. I do believe that there's too many brains in that room, too many smart people, too many talented people to not get it figured out by the end of the season. And I do kind of like that we have a split like that, where's Chiefs' schedule? We have the Texans. Then we have the Chargers with a broken hand quarterback. That's helpful. Still Harbaugh, got to watch out for his tricks, but it's at our house. Then we go on the road against the Titans with an interim head coach, a rookie quarterback, the most sacked quarterback in the league. This could be a battle. We win that, come out with confidence. It could be 2 tune-up games of like, let's just get better the next 2 weeks and crush it against the Chargers, crush against the Titans, and go into home against the Broncos on a roll and dominate them. And then finish up the season against the Raiders. Who do the Broncos finish the season up against? The Chargers. Who could be playing for nothing but pride. Which, for a Jim Harbaugh-led team, could be more than enough to play for. And if we're tied with the Broncos and the tiebreaker is we're even, not to help us, but to be able to go, we knocked the Broncos out of the playoffs. Do you think Harbaugh's not going to get his team up for that game? But we got to take care of business. It all comes down to that. If we go 11-6, what happened the last time we went 11-6? Oh yeah, we won the Super Bowl. Just saying. One home playoff game. On the road at Buffalo. On the road at M&T Bank against the Ravens, who talked all kinds of shit. And then Super Bowl. So, bring it on. Anybody comes into this chat, we haven't said it in a while. Got to remind people. You mean in the playoffs on the road? I hear you, Kevin. I get you. I'm just saying those games will help tune us up and get us finely tuned. Like we said before here, you don't want to peak too soon. Now, do I like peaking this late or looking this helter-skelter at this point in the season, this Jekyll and Hyde? No, I don't. It doesn't breed confidence. But last year we looked like we were clicking and getting pretty good. And then we just send out the JV squad to get destroyed by the Broncos, which had to be mentally demoralizing. It was not helpful. It was not helpful. And then just looked embarrassing against the Eagles. So, you know what? A little grit, a little dirt on the sleeve might not be a bad thing for this team going into the playoffs. But the way it looks right now, I mean, we get to the playoffs. Standings. Patriots are going to be probably the bye. They're going to get the bye, it looks like. If they get the bye, and the Bills are at home, do we think somebody's going to beat the Bills at home? So we might go If we somehow beat out the Broncos and win the division, which can still happen, which is crazy because they have 10 wins to our 6. And the cardiac kids that they've been, the way they've been winning games late. I mean, it's ridiculous. Everybody said it was ridiculous for us last year. Yeah, we're also on our way to our 3rd Super Bowl. So it wasn't like we're the same kind of ridiculous as they are right now. Okay, this is a team that has not done this at all for a long time. So kudos to them. They've pulled their socks up this year and they're after it. They're getting after it. And you better be awake and you better be on all point when you're playing against them. What I didn't like last night was a guy getting shoved both hands in the back, a Washington receiver, and there's no flag on that, by the linebacker, took him out, or by Singleton or Fonga, I can't remember, one of the two. And then leg whipping the quarterback, and they review it to make sure the quarterback goes back 9 yards, but they're not allowed to look at the fact that he got leg whipped, like they got tripped. Like these rules that the refs are hinged by, they're effed up. Just you either look at the whole thing or you don't look at it at all. You let it stand where he got his run to and he got the first down, or don't look at it at all. Because if you go back and look at it, you can't be allowed to say, well, I see this part of the play, but I'm not looking at that part of the play because that part of the play helps the Commanders. That gives them 15 yards and a first down. Like, those are 2 huge moments that could have changed that game. And those dudes were fighting hard. So, whatever. You want to talk about a team getting the benefit of the doubt and penalties this year? There's wearing blue and orange, okay? But whatever. I'm not going to get on that. Just come to play. Bring your lunchbox and go punch them in the mouth. So I don't care. You got 51 sacks. We played teams with more sacks than us in the last few years and got into Super Bowls. So bring it on. Because 15 is going to do some crazy stuff. And you know what's going to happen. He did crazy stuff against the Cowboys. But just too many mistakes. Too much flag leaning in one direction. It was really rough. But hopefully the refs will get their heads out of their ass a little bit. We'll pull our stuff together, play hard. It looks like we're in a big crawl back in our division. I mean, we can't lose anymore. We just can't. Every time another team in our division wins and we lose, we're that much further from having a chance. And I'm sure we have our chances at like 16 or 20% or something stupid like that. But that's assuming everybody else wins out. And broken hand quarterback, broken legged quarterback that looks like a shell of himself. Quarterback that's not playing anywhere near his MVP self. Quarterback that's up and down like Jekyll and Hyde. So everybody that's in front of us, 1, 2, these guys are tied with us. He's ahead of us. Their quarterbacks are all over the place. Josh still can look like Josh sometimes. Other times, like, what are you doing? These 2 guys, I don't trust their quarterbacks. This guy's up and down. This guy's got a broken leg. This guy's got a broken hand. This is the only team that's solid and healthy and playing the way they should be playing. And then there's this team right here. This annoying little... We get them this week team. So we beat them. We'll both be 7-6, and we'll have the tiebreaker after this weekend. So focus on Monday night. We got extra time to rest. Or sorry, Sunday night. We don't play till Sunday night. We played on Thursday. We don't play till Sunday night. We have plenty of time to get healthy, plenty of time to get rest, and plenty of time to get our heads all the way out of our asses. And that's the most important thing. Stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Stop giving the refs any chance to like call shit on us. And Wednesday we'll talk about Trent. We'll talk about Trent McDuffie. I like him a lot. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, you got to get Trent. You got to get Trent. Here's the thing. If L'Jarius Sneed wasn't worth the money, is Trent McDuffie worth the money? Because I don't think he's better than L'Jarius Sneed. Because L'Jarius Sneed would go up against the other team's number 1 wide receiver and eliminate him. Trent seemed like he was over his head against the Cowboys. Just calling it out. Calling it like I see it. Undersized DBs. And undersized is just under 6 feet or shorter in the league now because there's so many big receivers. They have a tough time. You just don't have the physical attributes to do the things you need to do without getting a little too touchy, a little too clutchy and grabby. And if the refs are looking for it, you're going to get called on it every time. So it is what it is. I got to let you guys go before this cat destroys our Christmas tree, which, yes, it's up. It's up because Christmas is coming. And the Denver Broncos are on the plate for dinner on Christmas Day. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday night game, which looks like it's horrible. Enjoy your week. Rest. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. Until then, as always, go Chiefs.